Welcome back to the second part of the event creation tutorial videos of the World Taekwondo Global Membership System. We continue where we left off on the event rules. Now the first setting, which is the restricted to users of organization level, determines where you will be able to choose who is eligible to register for your event. If you choose International Federation, that means everyone around the world based on the eligibility requirements that you have set up will be able to register for the event. The Continental Union means that you're restricting it to the one continental union that you belong from. If it is the country or MNA, that means the members from that national federation will be able to register only. If it's the region, then only members from that particular region will be able to register. And if you set up club, then only members from that club will be able to register based on the different registration requirements that you have set up. Now, based on the organization that you have selected, you will also need to select the restricted to users of organization setting. Currently, you can only select one organization for that event, but in the future, we do look to have the ability to choose different organizations. That could mean that if you select country or MNA, you can have different countries selected and members from those relevant organizations will be able to register. Can members choose to pay offline is the next setting that we would talk about. This is when you would like to accept cash on site at the registration center or bank transfers for the registration fee that needs to be paid. You need to select yes in that case so that they can complete the registrations. And if you select no, that would mean that they would mandatorily have to pay online. And currently, the only two options available for online payment are US dollars and euros. And in the future, you will have the different PayPal currencies available to use. And if you choose to pay online, you can select yes. Now, if in case both are selected as yes, that means they have the option either to choose offline payments or they will have to pay online by credit or debit card. And you can also turn off either of the options to make the other one mandatory. So if in case I select no for can members choose to pay online, that would mean that they can only pay offline by bank transfer or cash. Can members update their event registration once their registration is confirmed by OC? Currently, once the member is confirmed, they can still make changes and their status would change from confirmed to pending. In the future, you will have the control where you limit this. The number of sub-events an athlete can choose from. Here you determine how many divisions can an athlete register for. For example, if it's going to be a Kyorugi event, you can only choose one. But if in case it's going to be a Pumse event, you can choose multiple sub-events. So it could be recognized Pumse individual, recognized Pumse team, and freestyle Pumse. You can have the different options. Now when you select no limits to number of multiple sub-events that can be registered for, that means that this settings overridden and members can register for any number of sub-events. Now we come to the different settings or document requirements that you could set up, which will be available in the future. Now you've got photo required. You could set this to yes. You've got the belt rank requirements, which could be a Kuki-1 belt rank, where the system would check for a Kuki-1 or national belt rank, or it could be either. Now coaching certificate required could be set to yes. And all these settings that we are talking about, these are the photo required, belt rank requirements, coaching certificate required, medical certificate required, and referee certificate required, would be requirements that could be set in the future for when members are registering, and it would require them to have these documents at the time of registration. Currently, they will see the document requirements, but they will still be able to proceed with their event registrations. Now moving on to the type of ranking to use. Here we see the different options that you can choose from. If it's an Olympic Kyorugi event or a World Kyorugi event, currently that means that only event rankings can be used from the current live world and Olympic rankings. You can also choose the different months. So for example, it's a World Kyorugi ranking that you want for the seniors. Say you want the August rankings to be used and the ranking year 2018. You can set this and use the international rankings that are available, the World and Olympic for the able-bodied, and you've got the World Para Kyorugi rankings for Para Taekwondo, and you can use these for seeding purposes. These are the different events and event rules that can be set. And proceeding from here, you set up the different registration dates. So we say this event registrations opening on 1st of July 12:01 and goes on till 7th of July 2018 till 11:59 p.m. So to change, you just need to click here. Say regular registration opens on the 8th of July 2018 at 12 a.m. and it is on till the 25th of July 2018 till 11:59 p.m. Yeah. So once that is done, you can also choose to implement a late registration period or an on-site registration period, which will be visible to anyone who's registering for this event. Once you have set up these dates, you will also have to set up the fee configuration, which will be shown in a later part of these tutorials. Click on continue. Now the number of allowed officials per team, male and female, which is a function which will be available to you in the future. You can set the maximum number of minimum and maximum number of the head of teams, manager, coach, trainer, which means the different official roles, which is an optional setting. Number of allowed officials per team, again, is an optional setting for male teams here. And then we have a separate one for females, and these three would be available in the future. Now team agreements are if in case you would like any of the members or administrators who will be doing the registration to agree to any waiver, which could be an indemnity clause or any other agreement that you would like them to make, you can simply enter this text and they would have to mandatorily agree to it before proceeding to the registration. So, and you've also got different text editing tools that are at your disposal over here. Once you have entered this information, just click on save and then they will have to accept this text. You can always edit it or delete it in the future. Now, the next step would be to discuss the sub-events and setting them up for registrations for your events. We will be doing this in the third part of the event creation tutorial videos.